This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Afternoon Show presented by ESEN. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez, Jay McLovin, and Big Glenn. How's it going, guys?
Doing fantastic, man. Congrats to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce on their marriage.
Well, they're not married yet. It's engagement.
Yeah, I am doing well. It's been a little bit sweltering. It's been a little bit crazy, but matter of fact, I sound like that kid that's probably crying in the background. That was me earlier today. So I totally feel that child's pain because that's what I was feeling earlier. But I'm good now. Now life is good.
Good. It's nice here, man. 60 about 69 degrees out. About perfect.
Oh, nice.
Supposed to get overnight down to 46.
Oh, damn. You know what? Given the weather, the way it's been here, I'd take that right now. I'd take the 60. I don't know about the 46. It would suck, but I'll definitely take the 69.
Yeah, I got down in the 50s last night.
Yeah, I think it was about 56 last night, I think.
See, 50s are like borderline for me. I'm like, okay, I'm okay with the 50s. It doesn't bother me that much. But when you go below 50, now we start getting into some serious.
Yeah, especially in the morning when you get up and use the toilet and stuff, man. That porcelain that hits a whole nother level, you know.
Yeah, I guess so.
No, I don't know, but I will take your absolute word for it.
Yeah, I bet you will.
All right, guys, let's jump into some baseball. Unfortunately, me and my wife, she's a Dodger fan, so we watched the Reds and Dodgers last night, and she was happy and I was not. We got our ass kicked 7-0. Chris, we hit the ball pretty hard at times, but they just got back and made some good plays on it and caught it. I agree with the old Cowboy, the announcer. If a few of them would have went in, maybe would have fell. It might have been a different game. But Green didn't have his great stuff. He didn't pitch terrible though. I think when he went out, we was down 3-0. But we lost 7-0 to the Dodgers last night. Mets won. They got down 3-0 to Philly, and Philly went crazy. No, excuse me, Philly, got them down 3-0. The Mets went crazy and beat them 12-3. So the Mets are back up 2.5 on us. Dodgers win. San Diego lost to Seattle, I believe, if I remember correctly. And so the Dodgers are up a game on San Diego. The Yankees got a win. So, guys, what are you thinking? Jay, what are you thinking right now in baseball?
Oh, he does it again.
Yeah, I guess. Thank you. I appreciate that. I guess what I'm saying is it definitely feels like the dog days of summer, right? Where some teams are playing or some teams are starting to heat up. Other ones are starting to cool down. So, obviously Seattle is staying somewhat lukewarm. And we got some big time series coming up. So what do I think? I think over the next couple of weeks, I think things are going to start getting shaken up a little bit. I would not be surprised if Astros and Seattle could possibly switch places in terms of wild card and divisional lead, because we do have to play them a 3-game stretch, and we've never played Seattle well. We've always struggled against Seattle. So, I mean, if teams like us are struggling out there against certain teams, I know everybody's kind of having their little bit of struggles, but it seems like the Brewers have. They're more mellowed out. They're not doing as dominant. So now I think now what are we at? We're at the 26th day of August. So we got 5 days left in this month, and then we jump into the last month, right? So I would imagine over the next 2 weeks, we're gonna see what teams heat up and start really getting ready for the playoffs versus the ones that have just kind of been pretending for a little bit.
Yeah, the Reds, like I said, we played the Dodgers, and something I didn't realize. I knew they was good at home, but they are the top team in the league at home. They average the most runs at home than any team, and they also average the most hits of any team at home. They're only 500 on the road, so Dodgers not near as good as team. And also, Chris, you might bring this up, but also we had a big error in that game that really cost us. Our great shortstop. He's a good hitter. He's fast, but man, he's had 20 errors at shortstop this year. I think there's going to have to be some kind of change. I know he's got to be in the lineup, but I don't know if he can be the shortstop going forward next year. Something's got to change there because that was a big error. That cost us quite a few runs in that game. Chris, what was your take on baseball?
Well, Reds, it was a case where if you watched that game, you would have thought the Reds would have scored probably 4 or 5 runs that game, the way that as hard as they were hitting the damn ball, and they only ended up with 3 hits out of it. They didn't strike out much last night, and there was at least 4 balls that were going to bounce off the wall, or might have been a home run that looked like the Dodger guy was burnt, and somehow, especially Hernandez, he made 3 great in right field on balls that looked like he misplayed and we're going to burn him, and he got back and make a miraculous catch. And we had another one that Steer hit one, I think it was left center, that the guy robbed him of a home run.
Yep.
And we were hitting the ball hard. We just didn't get nothing to show for it. And then Green wasn't as sharp as normal, but really, if it went for 2 pitches, he wouldn't have gave up no runs. He gave up that solo home run and then gave up that 2-run home run off 2 bad sliders. He didn't have control of his slider last night like he as well as he usually does.
He did not.
Now his splitter was on fire last night, and he started throwing it more. That's most he's ever thrown a splitter in a single game, and he was getting a lot of strikeouts on it. So I was glad he was able to go to that splitter when he didn't have the quite command on his slider. But fastball, man, he was over 100 almost all night. Like that was some of the highest velocity he's had. He was hitting 100. Hell, he had 103 one pitch. He was living right around 100 to 101 most of the game. With that fastball. But yeah, De La Cruz, he makes some tough plays at short, but he cannot make the fucking routine plays sometimes.
Right between his legs.
Most of the time, his errors are from throwing, and not the like going between his legs like that. Most of the time, it's trying to throw the ball to first base. Honestly, I think a lot of times what his problem is he has one of the strongest arms, and they always talk about, he threw that one 103 to first base. I think every time he gets the ball hit to him, he fields it, and he wants to see if he can break the record and see how hard he can throw it to first, and then he throws it in the dirt or throws it offline, and I think that's how he gets a lot of his errors, is trying to put too much on it and just instead of just worrying about getting the ball to first base, trying to.
Yeah, we was going to get out of that inning. That's a double play ball. We was going to get out of that inning and give up a couple runs. I think he even give up some more runs after that. So that was a killer. I mean, don't get me wrong, we didn't score any runs, so I guess maybe it wouldn't have made a difference if we lose 7-0 or 3-0. But he 20 errors too many at shortstop.
Yeah, and we have like we got bases, and when we did get runners on from some walks, and then the 3 hits that we did get, we just couldn't never move them over.
Yep.
And what killed us was Dodgers' 8th hole hitter. Is what killed us. That dude was on fire last night. That Paez, or however you pronounce his name. That dude was on fire last night. Hell, he was responsible for almost all their RBIs.
Yeah, their lower back end of the lineup is what killed us. We did pretty well against the front end. But yeah, you're right. Big Glenn, you have a take on any baseball?
Yes, I think Seattle will pop and win the AL West because they starting to figure things out. I watched the Mariners game there the other day. I think it was Sunday, and they killed whoever they played. It was like 11-1 or something like that. And but as far as the Reds game last night, Hernandez obviously robbed us a couple of home runs. But man, I'm surprised y'all didn't talk about that play that Hunter Green had between his legs and got that double play ball.
It was a hell of a play.
Yeah, I was like, holy what? But yeah.
The only thing that worries me about the Reds is you guys have a really hard schedule all the way to the end. You play the A's and you play the Pirates. You got 2 series that are sub 500 teams, and then everybody else is championship or playoff caliber. I mean, you have a hard road ahead of you. And I was looking at the Mets. They get a medium road, right? Not quite as hard. So the only way I see it is you're going to have to really have damn near – you're going to have to go on that Brewers type of baseball I think to get in the wild card, I feel like.
Well, I think what we got to do, we ain't been able to get over the hump. We've got close as a half game to a game out, and we can't get over that hump. That's close as we can get. We got to get back up to that, and we got to get a lead. We got to get a game lead. We at least, and because I know that sounds weird. People say, "Well, 1 game lead." Well, 1 game lead in the 3-game series is big because if you win 2 of those games, you're not going to relinquish. Most likely, you're not going to relinquish that lead. Even if you only lose 2 and you got a game lead, that team wins 3, you're going to be tied. So we got to get over that hump somehow.
That's why I keep saying that game or that series that's coming up against us and the Mets is going to probably determine the wild card.
Well, it could, Glenn, but not if we get too far back. If we get
if we get 6 back,
if we get even 3.5, 4 games back, because even if you get 3.5, even if you win 2 out of that 3, you're not gaining that much ground. You only
because you got to get everything on the back end that way. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You're only gaining a game. You almost have to sweep them to really gain anything. So we really got to keep things close, and we've not played real well the last 4 out of 5 games. So hopefully we can get back on track. But we're playing a really good team at their place. So hopefully we can pick it up tonight.
Real quick, Joe asked if Alvarez was going to be playing tonight. Everybody says he is. Espada, the manager, has said that he fully expects Alvarez to play this, that, and the other. So everybody says he's playing tonight. However, the depth chart and a couple of the spots still have him on the IL 60 list. So I guess it's going to be a game time, whether or not he comes off the IL or not. So I would tell you, Joe, right now they're saying he is, but I would say it's 50-50, and I think it's probably going to be a game time call.
Okay. I also know that Jay mentioned before we got on the air, Cal Raleigh hit another home run. He's at 50 home runs now, and he's trying to break that record to get up to 62. ESPN projected right now that he is, with what games are left, that he'll reach 61. It's just kind of hard to say. I mean, if he goes on, he can go on a run and hit 4 or 5 in a row, or he cannot hit one for 10 games. So you just never know. But he's hitting the ball real well right now. He's seeing it well, and he's pounding it, and he's a big reason why Seattle is where they're at right now. No doubt about it. Anybody else got anything on baseball that they want to talk about before we move on?
Yes, absolutely. Just a small note. The 2026 schedule came out for all teams today, and I seen that the Reds go to New York City at the end of next June. So,
yep, we open. I think even earlier. I want to say March 26th against the Red Sox. Against the Red Sox.
Quite early.
Yes, that's too early for me. Too cold.
Yeah, it's one of those games that you probably want to take a coat down or something just to be sure.
Yeah, it may be 35.
Yeah.
So,
nope.
That's
ain't no way.
Yeah,
I've done that for a race one time, and no.
I still know how people go to baseball and football games, and it's like 0 degrees or whatever, and they're out there at bare shirted, and they got their little chest painted up with whatever letter I guess they are in the word. I don't know how people do that. I still can't believe people do that.
When I got to go to the Reds World Series in '76, of course, our seats were way up there out in left field, and it was the first Sunday night World Series game ever, if I remember correctly, and in '76, and it was probably maybe 40 degrees, and even though it was October, but maybe 40 degrees with the wind blowing about 25, 30 miles an hour. So I froze my little Mexican ass off. I'm not gonna lie. And I got to go to the World Series, but my dad said, I'm taking you to the World Series, but you are going to school the next day. It don't make no difference what time we got home. We got home at 2:30 in the morning, so I had to get up still to go to school. I was not happy with that, but of course the Reds swept that series, so I'm happy with that. Beat them nasty Yankees.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, real quick, what are y'all putting on the over/under for Kyle Raleigh to hit 61? Or where do you think he's going to finish at? Do you think he hits 61, or do you think he gets shy of it?
59.
I went with 56 yesterday. I'm gonna stick with it.
I think it's the 59.
Does it have to be just regular season, or does postseason count?
I think just regular season for the record.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he's gonna get 50. He'll probably get 60.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking more. I'm still sticking with 58, but at the rate he's knocking them right now, he might actually hit 61. But I'm still sticking with my original one. I said 58. I'm gonna stick with it.
Yeah, I went 56 yesterday, so I'm gonna stick. Okay, guys, let's move on to some NFL. The Browns. And Chris seen this coming a few weeks ago. He said that Kenny Pickett was going to get traded, and he did. He got traded to the Raiders for a 5th-round draft choice in next year's draft. So, guys, that means right now, I think of course, the Browns. We know the old veteran is going to be the starter, but right now, who's going to be number 2, number 3? I think Shadur's going to be the number 3 guy as of right now on the depth chart. The other guy, which I can't remember his name right now. Chris, can you help me with that?
Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, number 2. And I tell you, if you look at their numbers, I just seen their numbers. Shadur had that one good game, and then he had some struggles after that. Got sacked 7 times. He again, when he could see the first play, he was good. But when he had to read, he was in trouble. He had trouble reading. And that's not unusual for a young quarterback. I'm not putting him down. That don't mean he's not going to learn it. I think he'll get it. I think he'll be fine. But it's going to take time. People got carried away with one game. But it's going to be interesting. And I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of with Chris. I was higher on Gabriel than Shadur because I think Gabriel played more games and a tougher schedule. That don't mean that Shadur can't catch him and be better than him. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. Chris, why do you think the Raiders wanted to pick it?
I think it's just a backup for if Geno Smith was to get hurt, because I can't remember who their backup was before that, but I think that's kind of in their minds, it gives them a solid backup in case something was to happen with the Geno. I mean, and if you look at it, I think close to 30 quarterbacks got used in the NFL last year. So yeah. I mean, a lot of teams usually have to use their backup quarterback at some point. So I think that was why the Raiders did that. Plus, they didn't give up. They didn't give a whole lot to get him either. They gave up a 5th round or 6th round pick. So it's going to be interesting. I figured Pickett was going to be the guy
you called
out, especially when he got hurt. When he got hurt, I think Gabriel was going to be their backup unless Flacco was to get hurt, and then he'll move up. I think Sanders is going to be their number 3 guy at least until. Which I don't know when at what point of the season Deshaun Watson would be eligible to return. Then it'd be interesting to see what they do there with that. But yeah, I think Shadur's probably going to be the number 3 guy. But Dad, the reason Shadur had that bad game was because the Cleveland Browns sabotaged him. Haven't you heard that? The Cleveland Browns sabotaged him. They wanted Shadur to look bad. They didn't want it. They made sure that he played bad. He's the only backup quarterback that has ever had to go out there and play with the 3rd stringers. We don't do that in preseason. The rookies don't play with 3rd stringers. What the hell are people bitching about? It happens every year. The rookies play with 3rd stringers. And
my Jim Ross voice.
Sanders does it. The Browns are sabotaging them. They're trying to make him look bad. People on ESPN and on the radio, the media, you know what the media is going to do? And I hate it for Shador, but what the media is going to do with him being a backup quarterback and the way they're acting, creating the circus, it's going to be just like Cam Newton, Colin Kaepernick, and these guys, when they weren't good enough to be starters, nobody wanted them as a backup because the media circus that was going to follow them around. And that's already starting to do that with Shador Sanders, and it's going to turn – and it's not his fault, but it's going to turn some of these teams away from him because they're not going to want. No team wants to be answering questions about their 3rd string quarterback every day, or their backup quarterback every day. And the way and then like this, something that happens every year in the preseason, but now the Browns are trying to sabotage them. That's going to turn teams off from Shador Sanders if the Browns end up releasing. The media needs to chill out. Because they're hurting them more than they're helping them.
I agree.
When it comes to the media, man, when it comes to that kind of stuff specifically, it's like my Jim Ross voice. The hell you say? Yeah.
Hey, real quick. So, yeah, and that was actually a really good move for the Raiders because Aiden O'Connell, which was their backup, but he fractured his wrist. So he's out 6 to 8. He's already out 6 to 8 weeks. So for them to get Pickett and only give up a 5th rounder to bring him in, and he probably was the best on the list because of the log jam in Cleveland. So that made a lot of sense for Cleveland to free up him. But they also got a draft pick out of it. And then, but it's good for the Raiders because now they got a legit, backup until Aiden can come back. So I think it works out for both sides. Go ahead, Chris.
Jay, I got a question for you. Was the Raiders sabotaging Shedeur Sanders because they decided to trade for Pickett and not Sanders?
The word on the street is the word on the street is Michael Parsons had a conversation with the team, and that was the direction in which we went.
Okay.
I'm in his agent. So Michael Parsons is the man behind the curtain. I will give you a spoiler alert. It's all about Michael Parsons and the deflection off of the great Jerry Jones.
Okay. Let me ask you guys
with that.
Let me ask you guys a question. I seen Pickett play a little bit last year, and I thought he looked decent at times. Do you think that he might be able? Could it be like a couple of other quarterbacks who developed late and became a starter and had some success? Do you think there's a possibility? And I'm not saying he's going to be the starter for the Raiders or anything like that. I'm just saying, do you think maybe eventually, a year or two down the road, that he might get an opportunity and might prove himself? Chris, what do you think?
I mean, I think there's a chance. I would like to see him because when he was in Pittsburgh was when he had Matt Canada as a offensive coordinator who ended up getting fired because no matter what quarterback he had, they did. So I'd like to see him with like an offensive minded coach. We were coordinator, like we never really got to see him with like a good coordinator or offensive minded head coach to see like what he could maybe do. I think he has some talent, and he's shown flashes in Pittsburgh, but I think the play calling wasn't great. And then when they did get a better offense coordinator, that's when they had traded him away and brought in Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. And then, of course, he was in Philadelphia last year. Didn't get to play much because he was the backup behind there. But no, I think he has some talent. I think if he got with the right coordinator, that I think he could have more success than what he did in Pittsburgh. But I mean, you just never know until they get an opportunity.
What do you think, Glenn?
Yeah, I think Ken is going to have enough chances to get to that level, so he's not going to have any shortage of chances in that way, is how I feel about that.
Okay. What about you, Jay?
Yeah, I really think, Pete Carroll did a really good job when Geno first got to Seattle, kind of helped resurrecting Geno's career when we all thought Geno was done and left for dead. And so if that's the case, we've seen Sam Darnold turn things around. We've seen Baker turn things around. So I don't see why Kenny Pickett can't obviously turn his. I think he's got talent. I think Pete Carroll will help him develop that talent. So I think this probably is the best spot for Kenny Pickett because Cleveland was going to do nothing for him. But I think under Pete, yeah, I mean, if his number gets called and Geno goes down, I think Pete will have him ready, and we could see a different version. And he's got Amari Cooper, Jacoby Meyer, and he's got Brock Bowers. And now he's got the big back Ashton Genty behind him and a pretty decent offensive line. So, I mean, there's a lot of things there for him to be successful if he was to get his number called, and I think he's going to be good.
And he's got Tom Brady in the building.
Can you get any better than that? I'm just saying.
Hey, and let's move on here. Jay brought up his name. Jacoby Meyer for the Raiders has supposedly requested a trade. So, Jay, what do you think about that?
I had to unmute myself. What was the question again? About which player?
About Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, thank you. No, I'm sorry. I got discombobulated because I was like, man, I was on mute. Yeah,
not Whiskey Myers.
Myers, whatever. We all know who we're talking about here. Let's not get all technical here, okay? Damn. No, No, what do I think about it? He's in his last year of his contract, just like anybody else. He wants to get paid. He wants to get the dollar. I mean, he should. He's a good wide receiver. He has been a good wide receiver for Oakland for a good while now, and he is the number. He will be the number one wideout again. So, why would you not want? I think it's just not getting the contract done. So, I think if they can get that contract worked out, then I think he'll be fine. I think he'll play this year without a contract, and then next year he'll either get franchise tagged, I would imagine, or they'll work out a deal at some point in the offseason. But I think Jacoby Myers, he's not going to leave the Raiders. I think they'll get that deal done.
Okay. What do you think, Chris?
If he does leave, and I don't think it's going to be this season. And why the hell would you wait till now to demand a trade or ask for a trade? I guess this is like to me like the worst possible time to ask for a trade. Like, season's getting ready to start. Most teams have already spent the money that they do have for free any kind of free agents, and most teams right now are worried about cutting people off their team to get down to the 53-man roster limit, let alone try to add somebody. So to me, it's weird timing for this to pop up. So I think this will be something that he'll play this season, and then it'll get settled at the end of the season.
What do you think, Big Glenn?
I think that he probably gets moved at some point. I just don't know where.
Next up, guys, we got the Bengals. Made a little bit of headlines, and they finally come to an agreement, kind of, with Trey Hendrickson for a $14 million raise on this year's contract. That makes him $30 million for this year for 2025. But as of now, he still becomes an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. So, Chris, what do you think about that? I mean, I thought that's kind of an odd deal. I mean, I know they got him paid for this season, but not to get him extended. I think that's kind of odd. What do you think, Chris?
The Bengals, they hold their stance, and they end up not giving in and giving Hendrickson what he wanted. He was wanting like 3 years, and they wasn't going to give him the other years. So Hendrickson really didn't get what he wanted. He got more money for this season, but he didn't get the guaranteed money that he was hoping for like 3 years and having that like security for the next few years like he wanted. What it reminds me of is a lot of what kind of a lot like what the New York Giants done a couple years ago with Saquon Barkley. When Saquon was wanting that, they didn't want franchise tag. They ended up doing something like this and gave him a raise for that season, and then the next year he was basically a free agent again. And then they moved on. They ended up trading him instead of doing the franchise tag or keeping him. So yeah, I think this just says to me that Hendrickson will probably be on a different team after this season. Okay. I think he's going to play this season. He got his extra money, but I think that bridge has been burnt. I wouldn't be surprised when he's a free agent next year that he moves on to somewhere else out of Cincinnati.
Big Glenn, what do you think?
Man, I'll tell you what, it's ironic as hell that we get that Boomer Esiason bit from the other day about the Ring of Honor, and they expected those guys to come in and pay on their own dime. Then we get the Hendrickson news like right after that. The Bengals are cheap as fuck. I mean, let's be honest. And it's unfortunate because, I want to see the Bengals do well, even though they're not really my team. It's like, man, they could do so much better if they had a front office that actually gave a shit about their players and actually paid them. So, but what's going to happen with Hendrickson though is he's going to be on a new team after this season.
Yeah, I think you're right. Big Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, Hendrickson is 30 years old. It looks like he'll be 31 at some point. So, I don't know if they just. I think it goes back to what Glenn is saying. I just think they're cheap. They're being cheap, and I don't know if it's that they're being cheap or is that the fact they just don't have any money because of all the money they gave to Higgins, and I don't know if they had the cap space to go deeper. And it wasn't like people were beating down the door to trade for Hendrickson. You know what
Well,
I'm
there was
saying?
people wanting to
So
trade for him, but the Bengals wouldn't do it.
they did. I didn't hear it. Do you know who it was by
But I
chance?
know the Colts was one of them. I know for a
Were the
fact.
Colts one of them?
And there were other teams. There were other teams. I think there were several teams interested in him, but the Bengals' asking price was just crazy.
Yeah, my thing is for him it's good, right? Because he got a big payday. He got the 30 million whatever payday. The bad news for him, like you said, is if he gets hurt or something season ending or anything, yeah, that's going to jeopardize his future potential earnings after this season. So I guess it's a win for him in terms of the money. It's a win for the Bengals in terms of not having to go long term in the contract. But at the end of the day, what I see is deja vu part 2 come at the end of this next season. But again, at that point, he'll be a free agent, I guess. So it won't even be a trade issue. It's just going to be about who's going to pay for him at that point. I'm sure somebody will at 30 years old. If he goes out and balls out this season, which I would imagine he would because he knows he's playing for the future contract. So you know he's going to be giving everything on that season to get the next contract. So I think we're going to see a big season from Trey Hendrickson, so he can get the hell out of Cincinnati and go get another lucrative deal and maybe get more years to it.
To answer Frankie's comment, I think the Great American Insurance Corporation probably donated the money to pay for it.
A big season for Trey. Jay, he wouldn't have to do nothing except what he's done the last 2 years to have a big season for him because he's led the NFL in sacks the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
No, and that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, as long as he doesn't fall, I guess maybe the better word is as long as he doesn't fall off, as long as he has consistent production to match what he did, then that will assure. Because if he slacks off or if he has a reduction, depending on how bad the reduction is, that could hinder his future earnings. That's all I'm saying. I guess I chose the wrong word for that. I don't know if this is true or not. I guess he's saying that. I don't know if that's true or not. Is that anybody know if that's true?
What's true?
The Saints news. It probably sounds about right.
I didn't see it.
Frankie said that. Said breaking news: Saints named Spencer Rattler the starting quarterback. Well, I guess that means Show didn't do enough. I guess to overcome that, huh?
You think
that's interesting to me. I didn't think that was going to happen.
You think Frankie would set us up for failure and put that up there if it wasn't true?
Nah, not the way he's been posting everything in the group chat.
Is that what you're telling me, Jay?
Hey,
could be on here about 5 seconds.
I have a life coach, and she's not here right now to answer that. So I'm not even sure right now what to do with my hands.
Yeah, at least we know who wears the pants. The family.
Okay, guys. Anybody got anything else before we move on to our hot seat segment?
No.
Not that I could think of right offhand. It seemed like there was something else, but I'll figure it out. Go ahead and do the hot seat. If there is, I'll figure it out between the hot seat and the next one.
Okay, guys. The first question is an NFL question. Who is better, Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers? We'll go to Chris first because he's the big Aaron Rodgers fan. But who's better, Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers?
Ooh, that's a good question because both of them are great quarterbacks. I would go Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers was a little bit more complete quarterback. Brett Favre was a hell of a quarterback, but he was the gunslinger. He was going to take chances, going to throw a lot. He was either going to get you the home run or he's going to get you the interception. Rodgers has one of the best touchdown interception ratios in history. So I'd go Rodgers just a little bit over Favre because I think he was a little bit more complete.
Okay, Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, the reason why that's a hard one is because honestly, if you look at their career, it's almost kind of identical, right? I mean, they each got one Super Bowl ring. After that Super Bowl ring, they didn't do really too much of anything else. He went on to the Jets. So did Aaron Rodgers. Neither one of them had great success with the Jets. The only difference at this point now is one went to Minnesota after that, and the other one went to Pittsburgh. I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers, and I think the only reason I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers over Favre is because Favre was a gunslinger, And I think a lot of times he made bad decisions trying to thread that needle too thin. And obviously it resulted in a lot of interceptions. So I think for that reason, I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers. I think he protects the ball just a little bit better.
Okay. Big Glenn.
Brett, I'm going opposite. I'm going Brett Favre. With his longevity and even at his older age when he got to Minnesota, if it wasn't for Bountygate, the Minnesota probably would win on the Super Bowl. Well, would have went on to the Super Bowl to play Peyton Manning that year. That would have been a great one.
Yeah, it's a toss up for me, guys. Just because I like to watch him play more, I'm gonna go with Brett Favre. But that's the only reason. I kind of like watching him play more because I think it's dead even, in my opinion. Next up, guys, we're gonna go to the NBA question: who wins more games next year, Lakers or the Knicks? Jay?
Until I see more from the Lakers, I'm gonna roll with the Knicks on this one. I still think the Knicks are going to be pretty deep in the playoffs. I don't know how deep. I would say I think they get past the first round. I think the Knicks do. I haven't seen enough from the Lakers that's going to make me think otherwise. That they're going to do anything better.
Big Glenn?
I love LA. No, I didn't turn into the judge on that one, but yeah, Lakers.
Okay. Why do you think the Lakers will win more games?
I think Lakers are going to be better than what they were, especially with having Doncic the whole season. I think the Knicks are going to fall back a little bit with Mike Brown.
Okay. Chris?
He having to bite a moment right now.
I think it's going to be close, but I'm going to go with the Knicks. And the reason I'm going to go with the Knicks is because the East is a little depleted, going to look a little different this year because you have Jason Tatum hurt, you have Tyrese Halliburton out hurt. So I think the East is going to be weaker this year. So I'm going to go with the Knicks because of that. I think just because the West is more healthier right now and the East is all beat up.
I agree with that. That's exactly what I was going to say. I think that's the only reason I think the Knicks is going to have an easier time in the East than the Lakers will with the West. So I'm going to go with the Knicks also. They're going to win more games. Next, back to the NFL, guys. This is a trivia question. Most regular season wins all time. What team has the most regular season wins all time, and what team has the least regular season wins of all time?
The most would be Chicago Bears.
No.
Packers.
Packers are correct. 810 regular season wins. Who do you think's got the least, guys?
Probably Arizona Cards.
I'm going Carolina Panthers.
Nope.
Cleveland
Jacksonville.
Browns.
Who you say, Chris?
Cleveland Browns.
Nope.
Jacksonville. Oh wait,
No.
it would be Houston.
Houston is correct. 162 regular season wins for Houston. That's the lead.
We're counting Texans history, so that's why I went Houston.
So I wasn't sure if they were going to count Texans and Oilers and put it together, or if they were just going to leave it as Texans. But okay.
Yeah, I think it was just Texans, I believe. Who wins more games this year? This year, guys, in NFL, Atlanta or Seattle? Jay, what do you think?
I'm going Seattle. I think Darnold out there in the Jigba and Cooper Cup. Yeah, I'm going with Seattle on that one.
Big Glenn.
I can't take Seattle because of who's in their division. They're competing with LA and San Fran. I'm want to go Atlanta.
Chris, what do you think?
I'm going with Atlanta. I like the Raheem Morris era, Atlanta as the coach, and also like Michael Penix at quarterback. I think we saw a little bit of a flash from him last year when he finally did get in there. I got to see a lot of Penix because he played for IU, and then I watched him a lot in college as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Falcons. Plus, they play in a weaker division than Seattle does.
Yeah, I'm going Atlanta too, guys. I think the same thing as Chris said. I like the quarterback. Now, if he was to get hurt, that might be a different story. But I'm going I'm going with Atlanta. Now, is Cousins still there as the backup, or is he just out?
Yep.
So they do have Cousins as the
As
backup.
far as I know,
So
he's their backup.
that's a pretty strong backup. So I'm going to go with Atlanta. Okay, next up, guys, NFL. Who wins more games this year? Pittsburgh Steelers or the Denver Broncos? Chris, we'll start with you.
Ooh. I'm going to, man, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one because both of them are in good divisions.
Fuck.
He's thinking hard.
It's a tough one.
I'm going to go with Denver, but it's a tough one because both of them are in tough divisions with. But man, yeah, I'm gonna go with Denver because I was big on Bo Nix coming out of college. You know that, Dad, and he played the way he played last year as a rookie. I think he's gonna have another jump this year. So I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
Okay, I'm going to go next. I'm going to go with Denver, and I was going to go with Pittsburgh, but then I'm still not sure. I'm not completely sold on their running game, and that's something that they've went with a lot. Now, of course, with Rodgers there, if he passes the ball pretty good, the run may be fine. But I think it's a toss up, but I'm going to go with Denver also. Jay.
Yeah, I have a lot of the reasons that Gonzo gave, and also one that even Frankie put in the chat group. A lot of that is very true. Number one, Sean Payton does a really good job developing quarterbacks. He did it with Breeze. I think he's right now doing it with Bo Nix. You know, like you said, Bo Nix had a great season last year as a rookie. And I think that conversation he had with Drew Brees, that week he spent with Drew Brees and Sean Payton to get all on board with the system of the offense and things of that nature. I just feel like Bo Nix, I think he's going to really elevate, like Chris said. I think he's going to take that next leap. And I expect him to have a really breakout season this year. I know he's in a tough division. Everybody knows they're in a tough division. But like Chris said, too, so is the Steelers. I mean, you know, the Ravens aren't no slouch team. So, but I just feel like I just feel really good about this Denver team. So for that reason, I'm going Bo Nix and Denver.
What do you think, Big Glenn?
I think it's going to be Denver. Just, you know, Bo Nix and stuff. Their quarterback situation is pretty set. Not so much so on the side of Steeler country.
Okay. Okay, guys, we're going to go to the top 10 sports movies of all time. Give you guys a heads up because we got to talking yesterday and we talked some sports movies. I can tell you on this top 10 list, there's 4 or 5 movies that we didn't mention yesterday that's in this top 10. At least 4, and I think 5. So, and I'll give you number 10 and that's one we didn't mention yesterday. The list had number 10, The Karate Kid.
Not surprised.
I mean,
Okay.
I guess that's a sports movie. I guess. I mean, yeah. Okay. Well, it is what it is. Wow. Okay.
Jay, what do you think is number 1?
Man, I don't know which one's number 1. There's so many damn good ones out there, but I am gonna go. I'm gonna go with Major League. I just feel like Major League is somewhere on there.
It is not on there.
Okay.
That's what
Sandlot.
Sandlot's number 4. Chris, what about you?
Remember the Titans.
Number 2.
Is A League of Their Own on there?
It is. That's one we didn't mention yesterday. That's at number 5.
Okay. Is Invincible on there?
No, it is not.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams is at number 6.
Wow.
Number 6.
Longest Yard.
Oh, Longest Yard is a good one too.
It is not on there.
Coach Carter?
Not on there.
That might be. Wow.
All right, I'm gonna pull a Chris one. Hoosiers.
Not on there.
Damn.
That surprised me.
Rocky. Joe said Rocky.
Number 1.
I figured that was number 1.
Rocky's number 1.
I said Rocky yesterday.
Man.
Mr. 2000.
No, I've seen that at the theater.
Yeah, that was actually a really good movie. I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good movie. Bad News Bears.
That should be on there, but it's not. I love
Man,
Bad
that's
News.
old school, ain't it? Though. Damn,
Oh,
that was
yeah,
a good
man.
movie. I don't care what anybody says.
Miracle.
Nope.
I don't know how that's not on there.
Angels in the Outfield.
It is not out there.
Wow.
You guys gonna kick yourself. Chris and Glenn's gonna kick yourself about number
Bull,
3.
hey, was Bull Durham on there?
No.
Damn, all the good baseballs. Yeah, Frankie said the Replacements,
Nope.
and then Joe said Raging Bull.
Raging Bull, number 9.
Wow, Joe got one. Hey, good job, Joe.
I think what we have missing right now is number 3, number 4, number 7, and number 8.
I'm gonna go with The Natural just because it's an old movie, but Robert Redford was that would not. Damn.
Rocky 4. Yeah.
Nope. I'll give you a hint. 2 of them are comedies. One's definitely
Alfred Gilmore.
Nope. One of them's definitely a comedy. The other one leans that way. The other 2 are more serious, have a little comedy in it, but not a lot of comedy. But one
That's a
definitely
good one. Frankie said Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy.
Rudy, number 3. That's what I've been. Notre Dame, guys.
Yeah, that's at Notre Dame. You're
Should have
right.
done that one, yeah.
But I also
This
think Frankie might be over there Googling, so let's not give Frankie too much props just yet.
number 4 was said yesterday, but I don't think anybody said it today. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's Sandlot.
Yeah. I did mention Sandlot to start.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
you did.
4. Okay, so that's number 4. So all we got left is number 7 and number 8. One is a
Caddyshack.
comedy. One is a comedy. Candy Shack is number 7. Number 8 is a baseball movie. What is it, guys? Based on a true story.
Say one more time.
Baseball movie based on a true story.
Oh, Babe Ruth or Babe.
Nope.
Jackie Robinson.
How's 42 not on? No, it's not on there. That was a really good movie. I thought.
Yeah, no, it was a good movie. It was a really good movie.
Chris, I know you like this movie because we've talked about it. I like this movie too.
And it's it's a baseball movie on a true story.
It's based on a true story, yes.
Okay. Damn.
I'd say, Chris, you've seen this movie in the last, I'd say it's the last 6 months. I know I have, and we've talked about it before. I know you've seen it last year for sure.
I know I'm not getting this one, so I'm gonna sit this one out.
Damn, that's a hard one, though. I bet it's something easy once I hear it.
It's a pretty good movie.
Is it the one where the about the pitcher?
No.
Oh, you talking about the one where the nuns come down and bless his arm, and then he can.
I bet
The
you
one that
Frankie's
used to be a
right.
coach. Oh,
Is it
Moneyball.
Moneyball, that's correct.
As soon as Frankie said that, it cooked in my head, Moneyball. 'Cause I watched,
Let me give the
I watched that
complete
movie a
list.
lot.
Yeah, I like that movie. Let me give you the complete list. Number 1 was Rocky. 2, Remember the Titans. 3, Rudy. 4, Sandlot. 5, A League of Their Own. 6, Field of Dreams. 7, Candy Shack. 8, Moneyball. 9, Raging Bull. 10, Karate Kid. Any movies on there you guys got a problem with being on there? I mean, when I think sports movies, I really don't think Candy Shack, but I don't have a problem with it being on there. It's very funny.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with Caddyshack.
I can't argue
but
any with
I would probably have 42 on there before I had Caddyshack on there.
I'll be honest with you guys. I'd have 42 in the top 3 for
Yeah.
me.
That was such a
90
good, well-directed and well-written, obviously true story. I mean, very fundamental, but movie. I'm really surprised it's not on there. Hell, I'd put For Love of the Game on there. I thought For Love of the Game was a really good, movie.
Rookie of the Year is a good one too.
Okay, guys. Out of this list, there's 10 that are named. Who would be your top 3 out of these 10? Glenn.
Sandlot, Remember the Titans, and Poppy Caddyshack.
Okay. What about you, Jay?
Yeah, definitely Sandlot. Out of this list, I'd put Sandlot. I would definitely have what was the second one, Glenn, that you talked about? It was Sandlot and the other one.
Titans.
Thank you. Remember the Titans and man. And then I guess because I like Tom Hanks, I like A League of Their Own. I'd probably put A League of Their Own. I just like Tom Hanks. I like what he did with that movie, being a feminine baseball, and there's no crying in baseball. There were so many one-liners. I loved it.
Out of this 10, I would go Remember the Titans 1, Rocky 2, and just because I was pretty young at the time, around 18, 19, and seen this movie a bunch, I'm gonna go with the Karate Kid 3, even though I think that's borderline sports. I'd go Karate Kid 3. Chris?
Rocky, Remember the Titans. Probably Moneyball.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, guys, that's all I have for today. Anybody got anything before we get out of here?
The Fever played the Seattle Storm tonight, and I believe the Fever will get the win and maintain their playoff positioning for now. And Caitlin Clark will be back within the next week and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really about all I had. Other than make sure you give us a good subscribe at Gonzo Sports from YouTube as well as ESEN's YouTube. That's all I got, Tony. It was kind of a slow day a little bit today for sports. A few little things here and there.
Yep. Well, we got a lot coming up, man. College football starts Saturday.
Yes.
I mean, it's already started, but it starts really going Saturday.
Yes.
Some big games. Saturday and Sunday. And Monday. North Carolina on Monday. I remember that.
Yeah, there's a big game. There's a big game Saturday, and Ohio State plays somebody. Some school I've never heard of.
Some school that sucks.
Look like some orange poop on the smear streaks.
Hey, I like how the Buckeyes come out and said to Sayin, the quarterback, hey, just win versus the Horns. I don't care what else we do. Just don't lose to the Horns.
I didn't realize this, guys. Did you guys realize that Carson Beck transferred to Georgia to Miami in the offseason? The Georgia quarterback, he went to Miami.
No.
I didn't know that.
Not at all.
I just knew that. Notre Dame.
Point out, Frankie mentioned something. Hey, make sure you're checking out ESEN's Twitter account. Frankie runs our Twitter, and he does a lot of good stuff over there with the rosters and teams and things of that nature. So don't forget to check out ESEN's Twitter page. I think you get a lot of good content as well.
What's Twitter? I've never heard of Twitter before.
Look up Shador. Apparently, he invented Twitter while he was sitting on the sideline trying to figure out if he was going to get cut. Oh, X. My bad. I saw where you were going with that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. No, hold on. I got this. Twitter in old people's language, and the translation of Twitter would be X.
Also, Chris, a big
X
game.
marks the spot.
Big game Sunday is Notre Dame at Miami Sunday night.
Yeah, and Monday night you have the North Carolina TCU game.
Notre Dame is a 2.5-point favorite over Miami right now.
Twitter. You know, I think that's just a bunch of what's that one? Hey, what's up? That Mandela effect. I think that's what he's doing. I think that's exactly what Elon Musk is doing when he took that Twitter and made it X. He's just doing some Mandela stuff. That's all that is. Don't buy into the hype.